later as time is running out. So next paper is Focus, a fog computing-based security system for the Internet of Things. And the presenter is Zilong Ye, hope the pronunciation is correct, from California State University, Los Angeles.
Okay, hello everyone, and my name is Zilong Ye. I'm from California State University, Los Angeles. And the paper that we're presenting today is Focus. It's a fog computing-based security system for IoT. So this is the outline. So first, I'm going to give you the overview of the system, and then we'll introduce the architecture and also the design principles. And finally, we'll show you the experimental results and the conclusion and future work. So first, Focus. So as we know, IoT is one of the most promising architecture for network and for all the applications. We can see a lot of interesting applications running on IoTs. So one of our concerns is that the security issues that the IoT is facing. So we want to protect the IoT systems. So we found that there are some proposals using the cloud systems to support the security for IoT. But as we know, if we need to use the clouds to do that, then a lot of information needs to be sent into the core networks and then go to the cloud. So that maybe takes a long time. And also the latency is longer, and also the bandwidth consumption is going to be higher. So we think of using this fog or edge computing to help us to support this. So maybe also ICM may be one of the options to provide the security for IoT. That could be an option. But nowadays we're still using the IP network, so maybe Focus can be another option. So Focus is implemented in the fog computing, so we can provide a fast response because it's near to the users. And we can also have the low network consumption because the information, the uplink traffic doesn't need to go to the core network. And these are the benefits of Focus. And we also use the double protections in this Focus because we're using VPN to secure the channels for IoT communications. So the users need to log in to have their VPN set up, and then they can talk to their IoT devices. So this is the first level. And the second level is that we have a challenge and response authentication for protecting the VPN servers. Because as we know, there are many malicious attacks in the internet. So not just so if the VPN server is suffering from the DDoS attacks, so for example, if a lot of fake requests goes to these VPN servers, maybe the VPN servers can go down. So we use this challenge and response authentications to secure the VPN servers. So you can see that it is two levels. So VPN servers secure the IoT communication channels, and then in order to secure the VPN servers, we use the challenge and response authentication. So using this double protection or two-level protections, we can effectively mitigate those malicious attacks for IoTs. And we also verify the effectiveness of this system using the experiments. So not just the simulations, but we did this by prototyping. So this is the overview. And then now we're going to show you the architecture of Focus. So this is the main architecture. So you can see that there's users and hackers in the other end of the internet, and then the IoT devices are in the other end. And then the Focus is implemented in the fog close to those IoT devices. And inside this Focus systems, you can see that there are many maybe 4 components. One of them is the VPN. This is one of the key component here. So all the users needs to set up their VPN, and then they can go through this VPN channel and then talk to their IoT devices. So this channel can be secured. However, in order to further protect this VPN servers in the cloud, in the fog, we need to traffic analysis units. So this one is going to classify the network flows into either they're trusted or not, or suspicious. And then we also have a challenge response unit also implemented in the fog. So they're going to verify and then talk to, maybe try to invoke those suspicious traffic source and see whether they're trusted ones or hackers. And then finally, we have a firewall, which are just implement the existing solutions. They're going to filter out those untrusted network flows. So this is the basic overview of the architectural focus. So VPN, one of the key components. And then this is the first level security. And then in order to protect this one, and then we have these 3 components. So it's like 2 levels. So the design principles. So how does focus work? So basically, you can see that these are the traffic that we're going to deal with. Maybe this is just an illustration example for different traffic flows. So they're going to first be analyzed by the traffic analyze units. So in here, we're going to use this, implement this C4.5 decision tree algorithm. So this is one of the representative algorithms which can classify the network traffic into either trusted ones or suspicious ones. So there are 10 different attributes that we're using to analyze, to classify those traffic. And then after that, some of the traffic will be trusted ones, and then they will be allowed to get into the VPN servers. And then you can, they can be secured, encrypted in the entrance, and then decrypted in the other end. So these ones are the trusted ones. And then some of them are going to be classified into the suspicious ones. So maybe they're the bad guys, maybe they're just the regular users. So we don't know. So after the traffic analyzed, we're going to, if they're the suspicious ones, they need to be analyzed by the traffic challenge response units. So the challenge response servers is going to send us a request to those suspicious source, and then the source needs to verify the answers. For example, they're going to do some calculations or some simple verification things. And then if they can verify the request, the message, then we can label them as the trusted ones. And then they can still get into the VPN servers, get encrypted, and then securely communicate with the IoT devices. But some of them, if they are the bots online on the internet, then they cannot verify this message, and maybe their source are already spoofed. So the challenge response message is going to lost in the internet. So they cannot get to the bot machines. So they cannot reply. So if they cannot reply, or if their answers are not correct, then they're going to be labeled into these untrusted ones. And then all the untrusted ones is going to be filtered out by the firewalls. So you can see that they will not be allowed to talk to the VPN servers. So in this way, you can see that the VPN servers can kind of be protected against those DDoS attacks. And then VPN can also help us to secure the communication channel from the users to their IoT devices. So this is the design principles. And then finally is the experimental results. So here is the results for without focus, and this is the result for the with focus. The y-axis is the number of packets, and then the x-axis is the time. And then we have 2 different machines. One of them is the regular users. The other one is the hacker. So in here, maybe the blue one is the regular users, and the orange one is the hackers. So the hackers is running one of the applications, which is maybe Polias, they're going to generate some DDoS attacks. And then those DDoS attacks, the number of packets is going to be increasing very fast. And then we can see that we launch that hackers around this time, around maybe 50 to 60 seconds, starting at this moment. So we can see that without the focus, the VPN server is going to receiving a lot of requests, and then you can see that they're increasing. But with focus, as we can classify those untrusted ones, and then we can filter out those DDoS attacks, you can see that the traffic is normal. This is the real-time results, and we also do some other experiments and see that for the blue ones, from the regular users, their traffic are not blocked. But for the orange ones, after the DDoS attacks, their packet number exceeds some of the thresholds, they're going to be blocked. So we can see that we can effectively protect the system using this focus. And then here are some other results to show you why that we choose to implement all of this in the fog. Because we think that fog is going to be a promising platform to implement this security system for IoTs, because they're close to the users. So that we can see the first figure is the response time for focus. And we compare it with the traditional cloud security system for IoTs. You can see that the blue ones are this is the real-time latency. And the blue ones are the cloud solutions. And the red ones are the focus solutions. So we can see that their response time is much lower than the cloud because they're close to users. And the other one, this is the average results of the response time. So similarly, if we calculate the average, focus is much lower than cloud. So this is the response time. And another benefit is that the network consumption for focus is lower because they're more close to users. So we don't need to upload all those traffic and all those verification information to the cloud. So you can see that the network consumption is much lower than the cloud solutions. So these are the experimental results, and here are the conclusions and future work. So the conclusion is that the double protection is very effective. So VPN protect the IoT communication channel, and then we have this challenge response authentications, which has the traffic analysis unit, which implements some machine learning algorithm, the C4.5 algorithm, to classify the traffic. So using the classification and then also sending, so this challenge response authentication is better than the others because the priority is done in the focus system. So the focus system can choose whether to issue the challenge response message or not. So it is controlled by the focus system. It is not controlled by the hackers or the other network scenarios. So it is controlled by the focus system. So we have the power to control that. So that is also one of the benefits. And also we implement the machine learning algorithm here. So we think it's also very promising to implement some other machine learning algorithm in the fog to classify the network traffic. So this challenge response authentication can double protect the VPN servers from the DDoS attacks. So these are the conclusions. And also the fog computing is close to the users. So we have the low latency and we have the low bandwidth consumption. And for our future work, we think that we're going to explore some other machine learning based algorithm to so you can also see that here. The traffic analyzed unit is kind of important in the whole system. If this one is not very accurate, if they put some of the hackers into trusted mode, then it is going to harm the whole system. So the traffic analyzed units needs to be further improved. So that is going to be one of our future work. So maybe try some other machine learning techniques. And then another future work is that right now we only implement the system in 2 fog nodes. So it's not very solid maybe. So later on we're going to try to implement them in a more large-scale fog system, fog infrastructure. So that is going to be another future work. But basically, these are some interesting preliminary work that we're doing now, and then we think that maybe I also want to push the idea that IoT is very useful, and we think that it's going to be deployed very soon. So there will be many applications, and then fog computing or edge computing can be the platform to process the data or provides the security. So security, the work that we're doing here is only one network security service. It's only one service. Maybe there could be some other service that can be supported on fog for IoT applications. So yeah, that's it. This is the presentation. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Please.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. Just like you mentioned that, of course, I understand it's one of the future works that you're considering about machine learning algorithms. But if I didn't misunderstand, you said you have already implemented some machine learning algorithm as well.
Yes. It's the in the traffic analyzed units, we implement that C4.5. that algorithm. So I think we can find the reference in the paper. So that is one of the classical network classification algorithm.
So are you planning to make this focus system able to get trained? I mean, when it comes to training something, because sometimes machine learning or those deep learning.
Yes. Actually, we use some of the existing network traffic data to train the model. And we tune those parameters, and then since we are analyzing 10 different attributes, it takes us some time to train those parameters and then get the model done, and then use it to work on the other data.
So it doesn't take the data from real time, but like performing or communicating.
So for the real-time data, we're using the model that we have already trained, and then we work on the real-time data.
Question is, you say that double protection, that's a very attractive classified security attacks using different strategies. That's good. But what I don't understand is that this approach can also be in the cloud-based solution.
Yes.
So why you emphasize that
we also
should use the fog?
Yeah, because we think that fog is more close to users. So we also implement all of this actually in a cloud system. We use the Azure clouds to implement all of this, and then you can see that's the results here. In the real-time response for the cloud response, their time is average is around maybe 200 milliseconds, but for the fog computing, since they're more close to us, then their average is much lower, maybe 60 or 80. So this is one of the reasons. The other reason is that the network consumption is much lower because they don't need to be sent.
One thing that's a little comment is when you mention the learning, that means not of the training. Is that making sense? Is training your data at the edge instead of
that's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe we can train the model in the cloud, but the other things can be done in the edge. That could be one possible direction that we're going to explore. Thank you.
My question is about the double partitions. How does it affect the delay in network?
Yes, that is going to delay.
Since the cloud, how is Microsoft actually feedback that we have here? Make sure that we don't delay the network doesn't leak information that goes against itself.
Yeah, those are good questions. Yeah, actually, right now we just for this challenge response, we'll just in that server we just send simple questions to the users, and then they're going to reply to us, and then we just check the answers whether they're correct or not, and then this is going to like delay the process, and also maybe some of the information is going to be leaked, and also maybe the DDoS attackers, they can also try to maybe send more requests and then try to crack this challenge response server. That could be also possible. So there's a lot of future work that we can explore, but I just want to like push the idea. Maybe fog can be a place that we implement the security things for IoT. I think maybe it's better than the cloud, but we're not sure. Yeah.
I also do this traffic classification. I'm curious about the inverse filter. You do classification, inverse filter. What kind of filter you choose?
Yes, I think we mentioned that in the paper. There is some network traffic count, the number of packets.
Yes, it's same with me.
Yes. And the length of the packets,
yes,
or something. I didn't mention it in the slides, but sorry, it's a long time ago that we did this work, so I don't have the details. But it's mentioned in the paper that we have 10 different attributes: network flow counts, the length,
packet length.
Yeah, packet length is. There's some others.
It's the same as me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.